The road of gender equality is far and ever shifted. It's not about strengthening women, but it is more about how the world sees women. It's about changing the perspective of the world towards women. Women has come this far, but they need to go beyond. Today, when we see women influencers, we see a hope that we are going in the right direction. When I talk about women empowerment, I feel women just don't need to be empowered within the houses, but they need to be empowered socially, politically, and economically. And when I say politically, I remember a decision of Bharatiya Janata Party a year ago where they gave 33% reservations to women in the party, and according to the president of Bharatiya Janata Party Mahila Morcha, this was done to give women empowerment within the party, and this was for the encouragement of women within the party. Whenever it's come to welcoming women, and especially who don't come from any political background, BJP has been a flag bearer. Today, I am privileged to sit across a woman who is known for her decisions, who is known for women empowerment in her life. Good morning, I'm Deepshikha Pandey, and I got the privilege to sit with the first woman MP in Rajya Sabha from Nagaland. She don't need an introduction. She was very famous with this year, especially for her grace, the way she took the oath in her traditional attire, the dress, jewelry, and especially for being the first woman MP in Rajya Sabha from Nagaland. I would like to welcome Phangnon Konyak. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, before we start, I want you to tell about yourself a bit to our audience, please.
I'm Phangnon Konyak, the state president of Nagaland Mahila Morcha. I've been working in the party for a few years, and just recently I've been very privileged and honored that the party has given me this post, to be MP in the Rajya Sabha. So now I'm serving both as MP and State Mahila Morcha President.
Okay. So before we take serious questions, I'd like to know what was the response of your family and friends when they got to know about this?
Well, this was something which my family and friends always knew because I was very politically inclined since childhood. And yes, they knew about it, but this was unexpected because party has given me this privilege to represent the state at such a high platform. So this was a very welcome and happy reaction that I got from them. Yes.
Oh, great. We are very happy to welcome you at the same time, and seriously, I feel privileged to sit beside you. So it's like a changing movement in my life as well. Okay, so I would like to know what is your idea of women empowerment?
Women empowerment, it's such a word that, it is a very broad definition. When we say women empowerment, there are different aspects to it. It does not mean women being empowered educationally, financially. It also largely depends on women being able to make decisions for themselves. So politically also women empowerment is a very major aspect. And when it comes to policy decisions, women should also have a say. So empowerment does not mean only one aspect, that you give them education, then you give them the freedom to do what they want in their lives, but also giving them space in the political sphere is women empowerment.
Okay, so I'm very curious to know about Nagaland from you because we have read, but what I know that there it is all about muscle power and money politics. So how it was possible for you to come in politics knowing that the ground you come from has such background?
Well, it's quite sad that we are known only for money and muscle power because Nagaland has a lot to offer to the world. We have a very young population, highly educated. Also there is a good human resource. We have also, the state is rich in its biodiversity. It has very rich cultural heritage. So those are like good aspects that the state has. But sadly, when it comes to politics, we are known for money and muscle power. Yes, there is. But then one advantage is that I'm from BJP, a national party. which gives ample space to women. And today, for me, it was not tough coming to this post because of the faith and reposed in me and the responsibility that the party has given me. Like, it was very easy for me to come to this position today because I belong to a party which gives space to women and people like me who do not come from. See, I myself am interested in politics, but my family, we don't come from a political background. So BJP is a party which gives space to people, individuals who are interested to contribute. So that is one aspect. So I'm here today and it was very easy.
Okay. So when I was going through your profile, I came to know that you have done Masters in English Literature from Delhi University, right? And you have been socially very active. You have done enrollments, you have done a lot in education field for Nagaland as well. So there was something that I was curious about, that does being in Delhi actually help you to go to the center and then be the member, or it was possible from there only, from Nagaland? Or does being in Delhi actually helped you?
Well, you see, Delhi offers a lot of opportunities for the individual if you want to grow. So it depends on the individual, because some people go to many different places and what they learn from there is different. So it depends on the individual. Yes, for me, being in Delhi helped a lot because here you get, there's a lot of exposure to many different things. Different thoughts, processes, everything. You see things playing out because this is the national capital. So you get a lot of news. For example, when you're back home, then you don't get so much of news. Of course, these days with internet, it's different, but during our days, it was different. So that ways, being here in Delhi, studying here was definitely an advantage because the course that we study here and the course that we study there is different. You have access to libraries here. You have professors and lecturers who are experienced in their fields teaching you. So all this, of course, being in Delhi helped a lot. Yes. And then you get to learn a lot, and then you go back, then you can implement those in your place at a local level. That is there.
Nagaland has maximum women voters, but still after 1963 there was no woman representative and not a single woman contested election. So weren't you afraid, or what made up your mind that you should come up and you should actually win and get into this?
Actually, few women have contested elections. The state legislative assembly elections, few women have contested, but sadly no one has won the election. So till now we do not have even a single female representative in the Nagaland State Legislative Assembly, which is quite sad, because for a society to grow and progress, we need equal representation of both men and women. So that ways my state lacks in that, which the people now, their perspectives have changed. So in the coming election, we hope that some women legislators will definitely come up, and from the party side also, if they are capable women, we will definitely support them, and we want to see that some women come and win the election and represent in the legislative assembly. Yes. And also when it comes to elections, it's my being here today, I feel happy that I got the opportunity. At the same time, I feel sad because there are many women capable leaders who could have represented us very well in the assembly, in the state and also in the center. But then sadly, women did not get a chance. Yes.
Okay. So how you are going to change the condition of women in Nagaland? If I talk after this, how you are going to change things for women there?
See, there are a lot of thoughts, that there are a lot of things that I want to do, but then this needs collective effort. So on my part, of course, definitely, because see, I'm a living example that women can also come, up to this level. So that is an encouragement for many young women and girls in the state. Also, if I can perform well, if my performance is well, definitely many misconceptions about women leadership may be dispelled. I hope to do that. Also, whatever is there in my capacity as MP, I will definitely do. It is not only specifically for women, but then as a person holding this responsibility that I've been given to, I will definitely try to, fulfill the aspirations to the best of my ability.
So it would have been very difficult if I see. So I would like to know what were the circumstances there and what are the major problems that you faced in your journey throughout here. It wouldn't have been easy, right?
Well, I said earlier it was easy for me. Yes. Of course, when it comes to politics or any other thing, when you want to run for a certain position or post, there are sometimes circumstances which, sometimes are too large. There are situations which come up, and you find it difficult to handle. But then I had a very good support base, both from the party in the state and in the center. Also, my team of Mahila Morcha members, we really worked hard. So we had our work to prove that we are here to work for the people. So that was an advantage. Of course, it was not easy because, and this is expected because everyone will not support you. But then if your intentions are clear and if what you want to do for the people are clear, then it is not that tough, because no matter what others say or do, no matter what situations arise, because deep in your heart you know that you want to serve the people and this is how you want to go about it, then the thing stands out.
Okay. So I'd like to know from you, how do you see the role of Nagaland in the development of the country?
Nagaland is a small state when it comes to our great country. But then, even if it's a small state, given the chance, Nagaland has a lot to contribute to the country because, like I mentioned earlier, we have a young population which is educated and they are willing to work and serve. And we have so many young talents coming up. So, and see, we have our reach. Nagaland is a small state with many different tribal communities. And there's so much of culture, heritage, and so much of traditional knowledge that Nagaland has to contribute. So it is a small state, but it is very rich in what it has to offer. And given the chance, Nagaland definitely has a lot to offer to the country and for nation building.
So Nagaland has an impression that it is not patriarchal state, but it is more of matriarchal state, because their women are highly educated, they are in government jobs, and they are very safe. According to a survey, only 67 crimes are reported there. So they are very particular about women's safety, but still women are not getting land property right. So are we going to see any change in this, or are you going to talk about this?
This one thing, Nagaland is a patriarchal society. So it is a patriarchal society, but of course women are given equal opportunities when it comes, nowadays women are given equal opportunities when it comes to education, job opportunities, and women are performing very well. And another thing is we have our customary laws, which, because being a patriarchal society, land rights are all given to the males. But then this is not of anyone imposing anything on anyone, but the communities themselves are now coming up with a larger understanding that both men and women are equal, sons and daughters are same, so we should treat them equally. So when it comes to acquired property that the parents have acquired, then they share that equally. Of course, ancestral property, the inheritance right always belongs to the males, but then whatever is acquired, girls and daughters are also, given a share that is there. And society is realizing this fact. So our communities are now opening up to giving more opportunities to women in the decision making, in leadership. So somehow things are changing and progressing, and this is a very good trend that Nagaland that we have noticed in Nagaland. I have noticed in Nagaland.
So, whenever we talk about Northeast, there's still a lot of stereotype attached to that. You're coming out, you're actually breaking many stereotype that the country has made, because the people of other part of the country don't know much about Northeast. So, how you're going to work on that? How you're going to break the stereotype that is associated with the people there?
Well, breaking stereotypes, that is one huge thing, but one thing about Northeast, like our Honorable Prime Minister has said, it's the jewel of the country. We have the largest river island, Majuli, cleanest village in Meghalaya. You have Nagaland with its rich biodiversity, Arunachal, Nagaland and Manipur, which had a kingdom from 33 AD. So Northeast is very rich. The people there are very friendly, very humble, hardworking, and we have a lot to learn from the Northeast, because it has many things to offer, but it depends on the individual perspective. So how you break the stereotype is if you can come and do your response, because how many stereotypes can you try to identify and break? But one thing is that if you are very clear in your intention that you want to do this, you are focused on doing your work properly, that in itself will break the stereotypes, because Northeast is very rich. Northeast has a lot to offer. It has the world's hottest chili, example, the GA Tech. There's so many things that Northeast can boast of, and because of our culture and our identity, we have that rooted thing in our own states, respective states. And when you look at Northeast as a whole, then we all somehow have this feeling that we are one. So that way, this unity, the country can also learn from it. And also the stereotypes that people have, slowly with our Honorable Prime Minister's initiative of acting is breaking, because now we have a lot of, there's a lot of exchange. Many of our leaders come there, they see many of our people, we also come forward, we come there. So, the stereotypes, half of it has been already broken by our Honorable Prime Minister. Yeah.
So, since you're talking about Nagaland, and definitely is the jewel of the country, I would like to know the women's life there, how women live, how the local women of Nagaland live, the culture and their day-to-day life.
Well, Nagaland, nearly 70%, we practice agriculture. So a woman's life in the state is very busy. You get up in the morning, you take care of your family's needs, then you go to the fields, you work there in the field, you come back, again take care of the family's needs, and then, weekdays go like that. Weekends are usually Sundays, then you go to the church, then there are the meetings, then we have our community organizations meetings. So a woman's life is very busy. Also, because we have these close-knit communities, so there is a lot of community work which happens, and women are the main backbone of any society or any community, because whatever work the community initiates, the women are there and in full strength, and they push the work forward. So a woman in Nagaland has a very busy life, and we see they have their aspirations, but many a times they sacrifice it for the family and for the community, and most of the community work is taken forward by women. Yeah.
Okay. In 2017, a women reservation bill was opposed in Nagaland. Talking about women empowerment at a place where they're actually opposing women reservation bill, how do you think, how possible it will be to empower women there?
The women reservation bill was opposed in 2017, but now it has been passed this year. So people's thoughts and perspectives have changed. So there is good progress. So they were opposing it in 2017. Now it has been passed. So there is progress. And definitely women are being given more space. So there is this understanding that everyone should be given an equal opportunity. So definitely women are being given more space.
Okay. So you had been the state president of BJP Mahila Morcha Nagaland. I want you to share any memorable moment you had with your people when you went to connect with people and you find that some people are very entitled with you, or they are feeling that we have somebody to speak about. So, any emotional moment?
Well, you see, being the president of BJP Mahila Morcha Nagaland has been a very good learning experience for me, because seeing the condition of our people and emotional moments, yes, quite a few, especially during the pandemic. Because during the pandemic, we were trying to do things, in our own way, small ways where we could help the people, and the way those small initiatives were accepted by the people was something which was very heart touching, because COVID pandemic was a time when the world didn't know what was happening, what was COVID, how do you deal with it, what could be done, and there was very little understanding when the pandemic and the lockdowns happened. So that time there was a sense of helplessness in the people, and when we went forward with our small initiatives, the acceptance that we got, the gratefulness that the people expressed, that was very heart touching. And being in the party BJP Mahila Morcha, every time, every day, there are so many things that we have to do, so many. So we take the schemes of our government forward to the people, and when they see this thing, when we see the happiness in them, then we find our work that we do is very rewarding. So ever since I took over as State Mahila Morcha President, we have been very busy. Team has been really good, and we've been working hard and reaching out to the people, and the response has been really good. Different aspects, for example, Ujwala scheme, Sukanya Samriti, Ayushman Bharat. So there are so many things, and vaccination, there's that, the free rice distribution, all this, taking it to the people has been a really enriching experience.
So it was all about Nagaland, but now I want you to talk about the women of other states of the country. You are in touch with a lot of women being in Mahila Morcha. So what was their response? How they feel connected to you?
This response, being in Mahila Morcha, is like a family. So we are one family, and then when I see the love that they have, when I see the genuine happiness in them, in my election as MP, and being the first woman from Nagaland, so all these things, when I see that, I really feel good. The response has been really good, very supportive. It has been very encouraging. I've had a lot of sisters reaching out to me, congratulating me, praying for me, sending their good wishes across. And when we meet, also the genuine happiness and love that they have expressed has really felt good. So BJP Mahila Morcha, we are one big family, and we have a very dynamic national president. So under her leadership, our Mahila Morcha, we are really doing good. We are one family, we are working together, and it is a very supportive environment, because there it is. In the party, it does not matter where you come from, it does not matter what your background is, but then you are there in the party to serve, and that feeling connects us all.
Okay. So when I talk about the cuisines of Northeast and especially Nagaland, a lot of people are just concentrated on few foods. So this is something personal I want to know. What are your favorite cuisines?
You see, Northeast, there is no such cuisine that I say I don't like, because the food culture of Northeast is very, very rich. You go to Manipur, they have so much varieties of food. The way they prepare is so different. I like their sinju. Sinju is a type of salad that they make with different varieties. So every place there has different varieties. So lotus roots here, then some beans there. That is good. You go to Mizoram, again the food culture there is so diverse, it's so different. Yes, Nagas, mostly it's boiled and steamed food, but the way they boil it is again different. You come to Naga food is again very different, because we use local herbs, spices. So, and you go to Meghalaya, again it's very diverse. So there is not one cuisine that I say I don't like. I like all. And we have a very rich food culture which is very healthy, and also because we depend on the local spices and herbs, so the taste is very different from mainland India, because mostly it's a bit more of fried food, and there in Northeast it's more of boiled food, or even if we use oil, it's very less oil, so the taste is again very different. So there are, people say Northeast, then you're non-vegetarian, you eat a lot of meat, but that's not the case. We also eat a lot of local leaves and this and that. So the taste is very different. The way we cook it, when we cook, for example, one curry, it look very bland to someone because it like plain, there's no color. But when you taste it, the taste is again different because of the local herbs and all. So yeah, all cuisines are and everyone should try Northeast cuisine because it's really good.
Okay, so if you're looking to lose weight, if you're interested in eating veggies, healthy, of course you can. Northeast food particularly. Thank you. So you tossed a term Naga food, right? Naga's food. So with that, I remember a question I would like to ask you. I'd like to know about Naga's parliament, how they function.
See, Nagas, it's the same. We have the legislative assembly. So it's a 60-member assembly, and they're elected by the people. They're the people's representatives. And then we do not have anything separate because all over India it's the same. So we also have our legislative assembly with the members there. And then the function as like the other states function. So we have our sessions. We have now we do not have opposition, but then we have the opposition there, the ruling there. So it's the same like any other state.
Okay. So when you were taking oath in the Rajya Sabha, a lot of women, I would say, were actually looking at your grace, but most importantly your dressing and especially your jewelries. So I want to know about the culture of your place, especially when it's come to clothing and then dancing and especially jewelries.
Nagas, our traditional attire is a source of pride, because we use it during important occasions when we have our festivals. If there's some important function, then we wear our traditional attire. So this was something I was paying respect to my traditional and cultural roots, because this was a very important day in my life. And as a Naga woman, I wanted to give significance to that important occasion by wearing my traditional attire. So Nagas, we have this deep sense of pride when we wear traditional attire. So it is very important for us because that is our identity. So for me, that day, it was a privilege to wear my traditional attire and take oath, because that was paying respect to where I come from, to my identity, and also giving importance to the responsibility that I was taking over. Yeah.
So a lot of women, a lot of people in the country is actually listening you now. So I want to know, what is your message to them?
My message to women is, you are capable and there's so much you can do and there's so much of potential in you. So do not have any doubts on yourself. Never doubt yourself. If your intentions are clear, then there's nothing that can stop you.
Oh, wonderful. So this is the last question I'm taking, although I can talk to you for hours and hours, and I still feel that there should be something left. So how women can actually get connected to you, on your social handles and other portals? How they can get connected to you if they feel that they are like-minded like you and they want to get motivated from you especially?
Oh, definitely they can connect through my social media handles. It's Phangnon, on Twitter, on Facebook. So my social media handles are there. I handle it myself. So if anyone wants to reach out, they can always connect. And because at times I may not respond immediately, but then definitely I go through it and I'll respond. So they can connect through my social media handles. Yeah.
So now your fans know that you're using your social media on your own, so there's a lot of possibility, so that you can any day you can see your stories being posted by her, or you get a reply on the Twitter. So it was really encouraging for me to talk to you, and it was really nice to understand the culture of Nagaland, and especially how women perceive the idea of empowerment there. And it's very clear for the world also that how we need to understand the working of women and how women are actually working in the country and especially in the state. Thank you very much, ma'am. It was a great pleasure to be with you and to have a word with you. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you.